Are you getting ready to relocate to Niceville, Florida, or maybe at least considering it, but you want to know a little bit more information about the area? Well, you've come to the right video because I'm going to tell you about why living in Niceville, Florida will be hell unless you can handle these 10 facts. So sit tight. Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie Bueno with the Whittemore Group at eXp Realty right here in the Destin-Fort Beach area. Thank you so much for stopping by our channel. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and also tap on that bell so you don't miss out on all the information that we give you about our area. We do have a lot of people that reach out to us because they are either getting ready to relocate here or want to invest in property here in the area, or they just want general information. So if you fall into any of those categories or any other reasons why you feel like you need to reach out and talk to us about the Destin-Fort Beach area, make sure you hit us up. You can give us a phone call, send us a text, or shoot us an email, and we will definitely be more than happy to help you with whatever it is that you need. All right, so living in Niceville will be hell unless you can handle these 10 facts. So let me start off with number one. Unfortunately, Niceville is located just a little further away from the beach. So for those of you that plan on frequenting the beautiful beaches out here in the area, you plan on going several times a week maybe, you might need to consider the drive time and the distance that you will have to drive to get to the beautiful beach. However, Niceville does have a bit of a shortcut, so you can take the Mid-Bay Bridge, and that'll make your drive time about 25 to 30 minutes or so. Of course, you do have to pay the toll, but if you want to avoid the bridge, you do have a longer route as another option. You can just cut through for Walton Beach, and you can get to Okaloosa Island or to the Destin beaches from there. However, it'll take you about 45 minutes. Really depending on the time of day, time of year that you're traveling, but just give it 45 minutes or so for your average traffic to get to Niceville through Fort Walton Beach to the beaches of Fort Walton or Destin. Number two, if you had a bit of a lower budget trying to save some money, or maybe your employment, you can't really afford the big luxury lifestyle or luxurious lifestyle, just know that the homes in Niceville, Florida are a little bit higher in price. I mean, it's a great area. You do get you have plenty of options of homes. You can have a newer built home or maybe an older home that has been completely remodeled. But right now, here it is in mid 2022, the average sales price of a home for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home is $569,000. So that has increased over the last couple of years as far as the average goes. But if you are looking to rent, so maybe you're not ready to purchase yet, or maybe not sure if Niceville is an area where you even want to purchase a home, you just want to kind of fill out the area a little bit. If you're renting, just know that the average rent for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home is about $2,500 per month. The average square feet is about 2,200 for these homes. If you're looking at the 3 or 4 bedrooms, again, you do have a lot of options with the style of home, the age of the home, the location. Niceville has several great neighborhoods to choose from. Just know that they are a bit higher in prices than some of the surrounding areas. And number three, of course, with the higher price homes, you also need to consider the higher cost of living. We will definitely get into more of that in a separate video. But of course, with the prices going up everywhere, but you'll have to just consider the price of gas and housing, maybe your groceries, medical care. Niceville definitely does have a bit of a higher cost of living than the national average. Last I checked, is about 8% higher than the national average. However, we are continuing to monitor that just to make sure that the families that do desire to live in the area is still within an affordable range for them to be able to live here, because we certainly don't want to push people away or really steer people in another direction just because we might think that they won't be able to manage their income living in the Niceville area because of the higher cost of living. So just make sure you look into those numbers before you actually make that decision or that big jump to move to the Niceville area. And number four, for those of you that like to form close bond with your neighbors, unfortunately, there's a lot of families that come and go throughout Niceville. That's because this is located next to a military base. That's Eglin Air Force Base. So we do have a lot of families that get stationed here in the area. And Niceville is, of course, a a desirable area for some of these military families, especially when they have kids. It's a great place to raise children. Lots of retirees out in Niceville as well. But however, if you're one that likes to have neighbors that you have kids that grow up together, or maybe you form a great relationship with the parents and you just become the best of friends and enjoy neighborhood activities all year round. It might be a little bit heartbreaking because a lot of those families might be in, military families and end up having to relocate after a couple years. So for those of you that like to just hang on to those friendships, you may end up having to do it from a distance because of all these families that unfortunately have to leave after a certain period of time because of the military. But as I mentioned again, there are a lot of retirees in the area, some of them that have already been in the military and maybe circled back around to the area and decided to retire out in the Niceville area. You can form friendships with them. They're great as well. But just know that if you are living in an area where there's lots of kids and you have kids too, then you might have to deal with your kids having a little heartbreak with having to say bye to their friends, because I was a military brat myself. So I do remember having to say bye to some of my closest friends every couple of years just because my father was in the military and got orders to relocate to another area. So if you do have children of your own, just be prepared for that heartache of saying bye to your neighbors. Number 5, there are actually a lot of wild animals in the Niceville area, really the surrounding area here on the Emerald Coast. You might not think about that as much because a lot of people just seem to focus on the beach areas. However, I have been seeing online a lot of stories about these random wild animals in people's backyards. There's been sightings of coyotes, bears, of course, snakes. We definitely need to be cautious of that, especially if you have pets and small children. You might want to keep an eye on them, especially if your backyard isn't fully fenced in. If you have a pool, there might be some animals that might want to cool off as well in the hot summer heat. So just be mindful whenever you do have your pets out. Keep an eye on them and just make sure that you're able to protect them or maybe save them if one of these wild animals do happen to come about and get a hold of them. Really, I hope that doesn't happen. But again, I've seen lots of stories recently of a bunch of little wildlife intruders in the neighborhood properties. So again, if you are living in the Niceville area, just keep a lookout and be aware that you might have more than just dogs and cats coming into your backyard. Number 6, there's also a lot of air traffic in the Niceville area. Again, Niceville is located right next to the Air Force Base and is also right near the Destin-Fort Long Beach Airport as well. So you just have planes coming and going all day long. Of course, once you live in the area, you do get used to it. You might not even realize that there is a plane flying over your home. But if you are one that's very sensitive to all the noise, or maybe you like to take your little naps during the day, you're a light sleeper, they will definitely snap you out of that quick nap. If you have children that don't sleep well, that you try to lay them down for their afternoon nap, they may be woken up by those loud jet noises. And the airport is nearby, so all those constant flights coming and going, you're definitely going to hear some of that noise. But again, after time, you will get used to it. Hopefully you will. I know I have. I live closer to the Hurlburt Field Air Force Base, so I have like C-130s just flying right over the house. Barely even notice it. Speaking of traffic, you'll also have to think about the road traffic as well, which is my number 7 on the list. There is one main road that goes through Niceville, and it's John Sims Parkway. So that road does get pretty congested during the school and work hours. Of course, a lot of people trying to commute at the same time, trying to get to work, trying to get the kids off to school. In the afternoon, they're getting off work and everyone's trying to get their kids at the same time. You have school buses driving around. You have to be mindful of them as well. Lots of residential areas. So if you try to take the back streets, there are some that you can take, but you'll still get caught up again behind the school buses, or you have lots of children walking the area that you have to keep a lookout for them. And just be prepared. Your commute time, you have somewhere to be, watch the time, just be aware of the traffic that you might run into. But if you are not one that really cares a whole lot about traffic, then you might want to find an area where it's a little more secluded and not too many people around, and you can just pretty much have the road to yourself. Number 8, if you do live if you find a place that you like to in an older neighborhood, you might have to deal with all the new construction that's around. Niceville is growing just like everywhere else in our area, so there's lots of new construction going on. I have seen homes being built in the older neighborhoods, so you might have an older home across the street could be your new home, but then there's a lot being cleared right across the street or right next to you that there's someone just getting ready to build up a new home. So if you are very irritated or annoyed by all the construction going on, all the extra people walking around, extra vehicles and trucks, utility companies, all of that, so anything that comes with construction that might bother you, then it might not be the area for you. You might want to go and find somewhere where it's already established and there's no vacant lots around, or people want to buy out those vacant lots and go ahead and build. You might want to find a more established neighborhood so you won't have to worry about all the new construction. Or you can even find in a neighborhood that's newly built. So the home is already built for you. Everywhere else is already, the surrounding homes are newly built as well, and you won't even have to deal with new construction because it's already done. Number 9, for those party people out there, the night owls that like to stay out at night, just know that Niceville does not have a bunch of nightclubs, especially for those of you that may be relocating to the area from maybe a bigger city that does have a lot of night activity. Niceville doesn't really have that. There are some great bars, local bars, a lot of local favorites and restaurants to hang out at. But for those of you that like to go, dancing and go club hopping, not a whole lot of options in the Niceville area. But again, if you want to head out to Destin and have some fun, there's the toll bridge that you can hop over, and or if you want to take the more scenic route, drive through Fort Walton Beach, just like you would to get to the beach, and you can still have a night of fun out in the Destin area. Again, you're just going to have to drive further away from Niceville. Number 10, just know that even though the town is called Niceville, it is not always nice. People do ask us, is it really as nice as it sounds? Are the people as nice as we might think? Just like any other place, not everybody is just super, super friendly. I hear about all the time, there might be the one neighbors that just really doesn't like people. There's people on the roads that don't like other people on the roads. There are parents that just don't like other parents. They're out there everywhere. So we do get that question a lot. Is Niceville really the nicest city around? I mean, it is what it is. It is how you take it. I just know for sure not every single human being is the nicest person around, whether they're living in Niceville or not. So just be aware of that. If you think you're moving into an area because it lives up to its name, I mean, it is a nice area, but again, it's not 100% nice the way a lot of people seem to think, but it is still a welcoming area, great for families to be able to come raise their kids, or a great place for people to retire. That's what we would consider nice around here. All right, well, if you feel like you can handle those 10 facts, then Niceville might be just a great spot for you and your family. If you have any questions or want to know more, feel free to leave us a comment below. And please don't forget to like and share this video with anyone you know that may be getting ready to relocate to the Niceville area. We'd love to help as many people as we possibly can. Again, I'm Stephanie Bueno with the Whittemore Group at eXp Realty. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.